Greetings, this is Joanna from Universal Unity and Universal Light Wisdom and Healing Centers. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Welcome back. This is Joanna from Universal Light Wisdom and Healing Centers, and we're allowing ourselves to go deeper and richer and wider within the topics today of trust, faith, and surrendering to the God within. And faith is truly that inner dynamic knowing. And when you create those alignments and those affirmations, and what we've said before in all of our offerings is that this is just my personal path and how I've experienced it, is that the most profound tools that I've ever used and I've ever offered in my teachings has been the powerful tools of prayer and affirmations and visualizations. They're the most powerful tools we have, and I called it the Christed toolbox, the toolkit that each of us have innately within us. That innate essence of tool remembrances of those gifts that we have to redefine, realign, and allow ourselves to fall in greater love of who we are, greater self-acceptance and greater self-honor of who we are, that even though there might be those moments of remembering other lifetimes, because those remembrances only come through because it's trying to show you something. There's something that's not in alignment with your highest and your best as far as the Christed essence. So then those moments of remembrance gives you that alignment to say, you're out of alignment, go within and give yourself love. Go within and allow yourself to remember your Christed essence. Because those are vibratory moments where you say, I'm going to realign, I'm going to redefine who I am in this moment. That's why they show themselves to you. Whether it be a situation on the street, whether it be in the coffee shop, it doesn't matter how those vibratory alignments show themselves to you, because each and every one of us have thousands of them a day. They show themselves to you so that you can masterfully realign. And trust and faith are the most profound mastery attributes and experiences that we move through. It just is, because the more trust that we have within ourselves, we grow within our light quotient, if you will. Within that light quotient and expansiveness allows us to also take on new gifts and potentialities and abilities that we awaken through the DNA activations, through those Akashic healings, through those Akashic integrations of all that healing and that bringing that universal child in to be loved and made whole. Because there is nothing to fear. There is nothing to have worry of. All is well. And when you allow to redefine and realign in that Christed version, you step up within that light field, and there's nothing that one cannot conquer and move forward and move through, if you will. Because that's what love does. Love moves through it. Just does. That's love. When you open your divine sacred heart and you say the divine in me entangling with the divine in the all, that's what you will entangle with, the divine. You're intending, you're allowing yourself to trust that this is the vibration in this moment right now. I'm realigning myself to love. I trust all that I co-create. I trust the experiences that I manifest. I trust that my prosperity will come forward. I trust that I will have myself a beautiful experience in the parking lot today, and I'll be shown the exact information I need. Whatever it might be, that's how we manifest moment for moment for moment. Are you going to trust yourself and let go? Are you going to let go and surrender to the God within that's always there? Every lifetime, every vibration, God is always within. Always. Surrender and let go. And when you do let go, those cords and those chains and those blocks and those walls of resistance, you can just feel it. And we often do this in our classes, in the Sacred Temple teaching classes, and we practice breath work, because breath is so very important to maintaining balance, centeredness, alignment of the Christed essence, activating God breath and God flow, through which you can feel the atom eventine particles, those God vibrations, oscillate through your body, and it can be felt. It truly can be felt. It's not something that's etheric and cannot be felt, and it's multidimensional and just a pondering. God breath can be felt. And when you practice it enough, when you clear your fields and your those clearings that we've given you experiences and examples of, and we have MP3s on our resource center, clearing your multidimensional fields, the 4 lower bodies that each and every human is here working with, and all of our children are working with, the physical, the mental, the etheric, and the emotional, all of these multidimensional beings, and you're clearing and cleansing them on a regular basis, bringing those clearing and cleansing into your home and creating that divine, sacred, loving space in your home. However you may do your sacred practice, the temple of you, the temple of your home, you're allowing yourself to see moment for moment for moment the trust and the faith within those practices, because it will reverberate reflection to you. It will reverberate that quantum experience to you. And the reason why this is so important is because moving through any transition, as we have been for the last eons of time, if you will, but there will be further changes and dynamics moving through our collective. And it's very important that breath and centeredness and peace of center and peace of balance be that reassigning moment of sense of self, that realignment. In any moment, breath can take you there. And it's that voided state. It's that peaceful void in which the all is just moving and you're observing it. And you're allowing your wisdom and your discernment and the trust that you are within as God to create that masterful choice on how to create the next healing or how to create the next interaction with family or whatever it is that you're moving through. And a master moves through various initiations and various levels of trust, of self-trust. We all, each and every one of us do, even as children. When my son is getting ready to babysit and go through, staying at home alone and all of those things that they move through in the teenage years, early teenage years. And it's working up to that self-trust. Am I okay to stay an hour by myself? And, making sure the appliances and what's going on and things like that. And then there's that next level of trust. And then that next level of trust. And then they get a vehicle, that next level of trust. The energy system is in that way. If we need to use and trust and work with benevolency and love and creative bliss and wonderment and that dynamic innocence of the child within to play in that way before we step out and within greater auspices of energetic entanglement. And that's what the human collective is working on right now, so that we understand how to create trust and faith within one another, create trust and care and love for one another before we step within that galactic playing field, if you will, through which greater dynamic galactic opportunities and potentialities will present themselves. Because it's an orchestration. It's divinely orchestrated. And it needs to be that way, so that we remember the divinity within and work and use and be that divinity from within and be that God self. As we're working within our most dynamic and loving and faithful way, you move about life in that inner faith. All is well. I'll be shown. And we let go of the resistance of having it come too quickly or in a certain way or be colored and packaged in a certain way for us to see it. And those are those ego expectations, when it must come to you in a certain way, or the cues or symbols must be gifted to you in a certain way. And that's not that inner trust and faith that God works in all ways, whether it be a parked car beside you or whether it be a gift of food from a neighbor. It doesn't matter what that gift is, that blessing is, but that's that trust and faith that there's a lesson of dynamic godliness within it. Are you trusting yourself as God to receive? Yes, I trust myself to receive. Thank you. I'm just going to go and skip along here, and I'm going to play joyfully. And I'm going to open my divine sacred heart, for I understand that I'm a true Christed being of light, and I'm a beautiful healer, and I'm a beautiful speaker of divine mother and father truth. And when I open my mouth and I have that pure intent to sing, the hearts of many are touched. Because I know that if I have a gift to offer, that there's a myriad of divine human beings in my sacred soul family that have sown with me in this concurrent now moment that are served by all that I have to gift and offer. And I trust myself as this dynamic Christed being of light. And why oftentimes I share the stories that I do, and some of them are of a personal nature, because I trust that these offerings from the divine sacred heart of all that I am as a mother, as a teacher, and as a healer, and as a Christed speaker and vibrational lover of all things, godly and Christed, that you may too see the resemblance within your own humble homes and allow the sharing that you do with your family, and allow those moments in which you may worry for your child. You may worry for the choices that they create for themselves, that it may bring peace to your divine sacred hearts that are godly as well as theirs. For if you see them from the heart of all that you are in this dear moment, and that you create sacred breath, and through your divine knowingness and trust that you're entangled with all things godly, that you're entangled and sewn with Mother, Father, God in this now moment, And you allow breath to calm and still this current now moment. And you feel the multidimensional bodies of all that you are come to an oscillation, and the cells and the particles within your multidimensional bodies are coming to a beautiful resonance of peace and harmony through breath. And the dynamic commandments of the divine higher mind allows all things to be calmed in this moment of now for your desiring to entangle with God. And it's just a soft and loving intention that through breath, my multidimensional bodies are calmed and still. And as God breath moves through my pillar of light, I activate the God particles ready to be activated, and I ground within the sands and soils of Gaia. In the purity of my intent and my peaceful bodies of light and loving cellular action and DNA interaction and molecular interaction and biological and alchemic interaction, come to a Christed, peaceful state of awareness and knowing that all cells have God particles sewn and encoded within all that I am and within every breath. I allow myself the trust and the knowingness and the faith that my cells are listening. For God particles talking with God particles, moving and oscillating in peaceful resonance of one another. For the divine higher mind and my divine sacred heart of all that I am, communing in the most beautiful, soft and elegant way of God vibrations through which divine encodations are gifted through purity of intent and love. And any aspect of my physical body that requires a healing in this now moment, I call forward my divine healing teams to assist me. And I have faith in which my higher mind directs and guides my celestial healing teams to my physical body in its renourishment and replenishment, cellular regeneration. For I have experienced many healings, and I have grown in my faith, and I have grown in my trust that has always been unconditional. I'm just remembering it now. And in this moment, there's an experience occurring in my life with perhaps my children or others in my community, in which it has reminded me of worry. And knowing myself to be Christed, and knowing myself and all the remembrances that I brought to myself in those moments where I've been healed as I've asked for. And I lovingly open my cells and my DNA and my higher self and my healing teams to command new healings of new light and new love. And I remember the faith and the trust that I gain within these moments of divine entanglement and divine authentic interaction of myself with myself and God within. And in these vulnerable moments, my higher self offers me through my multidimensional inner eye and my inner vibratory fields the lesson that that worry has gifted me and the remembrance that an aspect of this beautiful divine moment is for me to allow myself that as I love and trust all that I am, so too will these reverberations ripple through the all so that the all is changed. And that worry and fear are just illusions. And the universal child in me desiring for myself to hold myself dear. For you have remembered those moments in which there was no one to hold you. And that separation was so very dense that you forgot. The faith rippling within, the whispers of Mother, Father, showing you in this moment that trust and faith are always, just as your beauty is always, just as your Christed essence always, never severed, always pulsing, always whispering, always singing to you the sacred soul song of all that you are. And your divine inner self, the highest aspect of you, begins to see those in your community that caused you worry. You begin to see them as the God aspects that they are. And you see them going within and seeking their own God within and their own strength and love within. And you see them as the dynamic presence of God that they are, resolving and transcending and ascending and oscillating in new ways. And all beings as God aspect. And you look around your world and you see the elementals and you see the flora and the fauna, all being a part of this quantum interaction, in which you call forward all spirit to assist you in remembering the divine Christed essence of all that you are. And trusting that the flora and the fauna hear you when you gift them love from your divine heart. And they feel your presence when you walk about this planet. And wildlife in the oceans and the air, and all that is life, responds to the light quotient that spirals within your heart. And all things are just trusted. For faith is this divine love in action. And you'll be reminded through nature. You'll be reminded through miracles. You'll be reminded in all ways, dear lighted ones, with all those that you are threaded with. Faith always has been. Trust always has been. Your beauty always has been. Drenched, dripping, and soaked within all that you are. When you just surrender to the beauty of you. Surrendering is so very dynamic in its healing properties. It truly is. And surrender is a beautiful, it's a beautiful experience. It's a beautiful release into your godliness. It truly is. It's like the first time you're going to a pool and you jump off the diving board. The very first time, I remember the very first time I jumped off the diving board, and you trust. You just trust how you're going to land in the beautiful, soothing waters. And regardless of what the experience was, it's just that trust and that courage that it took just to be there. And trust the courage that it took to be here where you are. And the wisdoms and the divine epiphanies that will unflow from your divine heart as you allow and soak within your godliness. And all intelligences and all intellect and all gifts and abilities and tools and all that you have within as your eternal Christed self begins to flow through you. And each moment you make a choice, I trust this. My heart is so excited. Man, this feels good. I trust what I'm doing. I'm flowing with God. I can feel the cells within my body just bubbling and vibrating beneath my skin. I can feel my heart just speeding up just enough to let me know that I'm alive and I'm pure and I'm well. And in those moments of release or momentary sadness, I place my hand upon my divine sacred heart and I open within my pure intent. And the whispers of Mother, Father, God bring me to my knees. And faith brings me to a new level of awareness. Ready to expand into a new aspect of me. To dance within new light fields of joy. And these are the initiations that take us deeper and richer and wider into our gifts. That take us deeper and richer and wider into the beautiful anomalies, if you will, of multidimensional energy, and where you see things one moment and you're allowing yourself to expand with your inner sight. You're allowing yourself to expand with your multidimensional feelings and sensings. And trusting the flow. And that's truly what it is, just trusting the flow and letting go of the analytical mind to figure it out. Or the analytical mind to what should I do next? And just allow and surrendering into that allowance. Your allowance to be your flowing you, that God flowing you, is letting life happen through you and God happen through you and live through you. And trusting that whatever will unfold next is meant to unfold. I trust it. I'm sending out vibrations of love and compassion. I know there's going to be a lesson in all things. I'm ready. Bring it on. I'm in my light. I'm standing in the essence in the same frequencies of the archangels, the same frequencies of the divine Christedness. For remember, dear lighted ones, and the Christ consciousness was in the etheric chambers now as we speak. And we have the archangels as well. Thank you. Coming forward to remind us, and it will be within our etheric reading, that within any open-hearted entanglement within all things, you're the vibration within it. Do you trust this? A simple sentence oftentimes just blows you away. Those are the epiphanies of God. That's that faith coming to your resonance field to say, I'm here. Do you trust it? You've held this within you. For we say something so blatantly and so undeniable, but some find it hard to fathom. How can I be held within the archangel frequency? Well, you are, dear. You're held within the Christ consciousness vibration, and why we come to you in this way. For the conduit, Joanna holds the vibration of the Christ consciousness and the ascended masters in many councils throughout the galaxies. And many of you gather because you sense something within your heart, and you have from day one, have you not? And when you've gathered in live events, or when you hear her speak, dear ones, there's been a connection beyond what you can explain in the heart and the molecules to just start moving. For those are things that go beyond explanation. That's the God within. The God within, dear lighted ones. You're within it. That's you. That's your bubble. That's your oscillation. That's the molecules, the particles of light spiraling and spinning within the Fibonacci sequence. Can you feel it? And breath ignites it. A new spiral ready to be released. Oscillation through oscillation, you're within it. And as it shows itself to you, the lessons of love, the lessons of your expansiveness, the lessons of your majesty to create. For remember your hearts, dear lighted ones. Remember your hearts, guiding you in all ways and all things, in which you may be moving about your day-to-day life. You may come across a landmark upon Gaia. You may come across divine sacred soul family. You may be inspired to do something you've never done before, or say something you've never said before, or create a sound or a tone, or move your body in a way it's never moved before. Within your heart of hearts, dear lighted ones, will you trust this? Will you trust the majesty as it shows itself through you? Will you allow yourself to be vulnerable and pure as God and the child of wonder as you dance your way to a new majesty of light? Will you soak within your own brilliance, divine genius of light? Trust. You can trust yourself, dear ones. You've been here many times. You've allowed yourself to coalesce in many ways. You have wisdoms far greater than you may understand, but that's okay. And when you get the inclination and inspiration to dance, please do so. For it is the love of God working through you. And those movements, you may not know, inspire a catalytic action of divine profundity, allowing you to remember something that's brought to the forefront of your mind to solve that very problem that you'd been working on, or a gift of abundance. For remember, dear lighted ones, you're stepping into something new, and it will require that you let go and trust. Can you surrender into the dance, dear ones? Can you surrender to the God within? And just be happy and joyful for a moment at a time. That's all it takes. Just a moment. Dear lighted ones, we speak as a beautiful, divine, and sacred soul family. And through the etheric chambers and the universal frequencies that join us in this moment of now, in this heartfelt moment of now in which our human hearts are opening and pulsating with love and joy to the human family and our oneness, in our unity and our harmony, and in the divine ache that we hold as one to be a peaceful people, to reawaken the gifts within the earth, to reawaken the wisdoms within the grids, within the divine human collective, this clarion call sent from the divine hearts of those who so desire to be one in this moment of now. Hand in hand and foot, we gather, week after week, allowing ourselves to see the beauty over and over and over again that we co-create with one another. For this beauty is you. Are you hearing this message? Are you feeling it within? Your wisdoms, your intelligence, your healings, your peaceful homes, the balance within, the balance without, held within. And you activate it and you command it so lovingly and so softly through your hearts. And the consciousness web of the all begins to orchestrate a dance for you, through you. Quantum particles coming from all over, coming from within, to coalesce and to dance, creating miracles before your eyes. Do you trust this way of life, dear lighted ones? Can you remember your hearts, dear children of God? We open ourselves up to such profound healings in this moment of now, dear lighted ones. Thank you. I'm so deeply moved. In our oneness, in our abilities to create a beautiful light, a light quotient that can be felt, rippling through the airwaves beyond what I can explain. And how it is the love within our hearts that desires peace within our children's hearts, desires peace within our own hearts. For the peace that Mother, Father, God wish for is no different than us to our children and to our children's children and our children's 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 children, and on and on and on in this concurrent now moment. And the love of all that we are spiraling in this now moment. Grounding and anchoring divine trust that we've opened our hearts so very full. The unwavering faith of all wisdoms and love held within it, so that we may all dance as the children of light that we are. And the crystalline embrace, the crystalline intelligences live through us in our actions and in our words and in our deeds. So very Christed and creative, and eternal in all ways, affecting the all. And I give you a blessing from the divine councils. I give you a blessing from the divine hierarchies of the heavens, whose roles allow the quantum ignition for all manifestations to come forward through and be blessed to us in all ways that our hearts are open and ready to receive. And when we allow and surrender to the God within, all is received. And to trust and have faith in the unfolding, for it's divinely perfect and divinely so beautiful and real. For my heart has been moved in this moment of now. And I remember each and every one of you, the divine and sacred hearts of you all. I gift you the presence of divine and sacred love through sound and tone for those who so desire to entangle in this dance of quantum love. Divine and lovely frequencies, divine, 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 divine. Thank you, dear lighted ones, divine and heavenly frequencies from all over this universe, allowing the vibrations to be lived through me and offer all that may be required in this moment of now to ignite ourselves to a new level and a new deepening and a new enrichment of love and vibrations of light. And in this beautiful vibration of light, I'd like to also offer a blessing of light language. And this will be beautiful to open the etheric chambers for some beautiful light wisdoms that were offered earlier. And so from my beautiful divine heart to you, and for those who so desire to entangle in the light language offering. Ayla barkati ela kan manakte ela nishkan mana ela nama ayla kate manaka ela nan barkate ela manakashana manakte ela mana hayla kadana haya hashikan mana la ela markala na barke ela mana hay ela manakana ela shkan mana nakne ela kana ela na bakta nishkan mana nakela mana hayya kana ya haynaya hoy na makanaya hin na makanaya la kanaya hashin na makaya ya manaka hayish manakanaya haya ha. Thank you, dear lighted ones. And that was a part of my beautiful embodiment of unconditional love and my embodiment of unconditional faith and beautiful vulnerability to be my Christed self, with my beautiful sacred soul tribe and my beautiful sacred soul family, in which the light language that I've been inspired and I'm excited and so passionate to share and to experience and to co-create and experiment, and trusting myself to play and be of sacred play in this way, because my light language comes from not only many lifetimes here upon earth in Lemurian and Atlantean time and many ancient native tribes, and it's a mixture of many different languages, as well as beautiful sacred galactic light language, the birds, and many lifetimes in the Pleiades and different species, and Syrian frequencies, and Arcturian light language as well, and many frequencies that I don't have words for, really. I see the vibration, and it comes into my field, and it's more of a feeling and more of a sensation for me. And the words are the words that I create with the sounds that I can make. And light language is unique in that way, and it's unique to each and every person, because it takes practice and it takes self-trust and self-love to just trust the sounds that are coming forward, and to just trust the illuminations that are coming forward, and to make them in a way that is joyful and happy and excited for you. And so when I see vibrations in my field, I just trust that the sounds that come out will be the sounds that will serve the all and will be a benefit to the all, and allow me to create my excitement of dance. And so there's many different frequencies and octaves and love vibrations in those passionate offerings. So it was lovely. Thank you. for sharing all that I am with you. And so I appreciate you, and I appreciate our sacred sharings in this way. And so as we're talking about trust, and as we're talking about faith, and having it brought into the homes, as far as allowing all that you are as a divine Christed being of light to create those moment for moment in which you trust yourself and you let go and you release and you allow yourself to play in the most divine and sacred way, in which you may have never done before. And it might feel awkward and kind of scary at first, just like jumping off that diving board, just as it was for me to share light language for the first time. But just trusting that the universe is awaiting your gift. The universe and your sacred family is awaiting your divine intent. And as you're opening from your divine pure intent to serve the all and to serve the greater good, all is well. And you can relax and surrender into the God within. And that's where it truly allows us this beautiful empowerment. And this is really how I see it. And this is why I come forward with such grace and such honor to be human in this time and to have this human earthly experience at this time, is because I take great honor and great reverence. It's reverence, really, to feel the empowerment that humanity is stepping into, the maturity that humanity is stepping into, to truly own the depth of freedom and liberation it takes when you surrender into your God self and act on your excitement and behave in beautiful, divine, and creative ways that you've never done before. Because this is the quantum catalyst that allows us to interact and behave in new ways, that create those light fields, that create new catalyst moments of divine love and new divine thoughtfulness and new divine mindfulness and divine prayerfulness. And because prayers and affirmations and behaving in new ways allow us to create those realities that reflect to us, new realities, new light fields. And so we must behave and act and interact and behave in new ways. And so it really is that great empowerment that we own that we own this level of trust, that we own this level of faith, and we follow our excitement and we act upon it. And your sacred soul family and those that truly love you and the divine councils and your celestial teams and all those unconditionally loving you and supporting you and cheering you on every step of the way, when you follow your heart and when you act upon your excitement, the whole world, the all is served. And that's your authentic trust and faith within yourself, that I just love this light language so much I'm going to share it. And in some way, however it may, the all will be served, for I am so happy in doing so, and so all is well. And that's stepping upon that light field of faith and trust in yourself, and know that your divine soul family and your sacred soul tribe will cheer you on. I was saying yes. They love you. They'll cheer you on, and they'll be there to empower you, encourage you all the way, just as if Mother, Father, God are within you, empowering and loving you and cheering you on in all that you do and all that you're excited to act upon, whether it be writing or designing. There's many people that I've had the pleasure of connecting with and entangling with that design and doodle and create art in light language. And we've had other shows and segments about light language and how unique and diverse it is, because, dear lighted ones, and we're moving within the divine sacred heart as we create pause in this peaceful moment. The sacred movement of light language, sacred movement, is through the purity of your intent, and it's so very diverse and so very unifying. Because you are. You are diverse. You are dynamic. You are within the all. You are all God moments, all God particles. You're allowing yourself to step up to frequencies in which you're seeing yourself and feeling yourself and hearing yourself and experiencing yourself in new ways. How very diverse and beautiful and elegant and dynamic and loving. Trust yourself to play. Trust yourself to release within the quantum fields of dynamic love, light. And all will live through you and flow through you, and all is well. For all moments are divine in this way, dear lighted ones. So thank you. Remember that God knows what God is doing. Source, the profound creator of all galaxies, of all planets, of all life, knows what they're doing. The essences, the councils, the collectives, the beings, the arc collective, the archangel collective, the ascended masters, all of those beings that are within us. One for one, step by step, hand in hand, arm in arm. As we create these moments of which we're stepping onto these new territories of unknown, and we allow ourselves to create that soft and loving trust that all is well. I'm a dynamic being of light. In this moment, I choose love, I choose light, I'm going to play. May the divine in me entangle with the divine in you. I step forward in my light, I'm going to play. I trust all that unfolds, I'm going to play. I'm a child of wonder. I co-create majesty with Mother, Father, God at my heart. I have faith in all things that unfold, for I am that I am, Christed being of light. And my heart is open, my heart is wide, and I will play. And will you play along, dear ones? Trust yourself to dance the dance of love. So very fun. And surrendering into it every moment, even though it might feel scary and you might have the butterflies in your tummy. And those are moments in which that newness occurs, that awakening, that epiphany in which you step forward on something new and nothing will ever be the same again. Because you trusted yourself. You loved yourself enough to step within something new. Regardless of how it may unfold or go, you trusted yourself with something new. You trusted yourself to expand within the evolutionary auspices of God, offering it to you. Because that's truly what moment for moment life is. God, in all ways, in all possibilities, in all potentialities, in all levels, in all frequencies, in all vibrations, in all threads, in all particles. The all is offered to you in all moments. Nothing is withheld. All moments. And our new human experience is to trust ourselves enough to play, to step forward and dance. And how exhilarating and liberating it is to finally be yourself, hey? And I had these beautiful experiences with my children when we see ourselves finally be ourselves. And we just look at each other. It finally feels good to be us, right? Doesn't this feel good? We can talk like this, and we can share, and we can understand our healings for one another. And whether it be through creating blogs or art or music or paintings or whatever it may be that you co-create, through your Christed essence, trust yourself enough to play. To take that step on that dance floor and dance. Because it will be a dance you'll never forget. And that's why you're here. Creating the octaves of light through your own inner faith that all is well. God's within you and wants to dance. So fun. Thank you. I love those beautiful moments of complete and utter threading with the divine. And I just lose myself in the vibration of love. I lose myself in the vibration of all things, and time and space just slip away, and my whole essence and my whole consciousness is in another frequency, and I just allow. And it truly is an offering of divine love to each and every one that so desires to dance with us week after week. So I appreciate you, and I love all that you are and all that we entangle with and co-create together. And so in our etheric chamber, we had the Christ Collective come through. And their offerings in this day in which we talk about trust. In every moment, you are being communicated to. You are being swathed in robes of elegance and wisdom, of illumination. That is you. And just breathe that sentence in. In every moment, you are being communicated to. It's living through you. You are being swathed in robes of elegance, of wisdom, of illumination. That is all you. For when you entangle in this way, in those moments in which we offer every week, that we offer ourselves in vulnerability and offer ourselves in wisdom and insights and excitement in all the ways that we offer ourselves. For in any multidimensional experience, there are aspects of you co-creating within it. We are all coalescing, we're all co-creating. The higher selves, the higher aspects, our celestial teams, all that we are threaded within, we are co-creating this experience right now. And so therefore, you must hold the intellect, the wisdom, the heavenly matter, not only to converse in this way, but also to open your hearts and to accept it as being you. So does that make sense? Allow yourself to understand that even in this discussion, even if the ability to listen and to hear and to take in whatever you may take in, and as we've said many times, if you listen to it 100 times, you'll get something different each time, because your multidimensional bodies, your quantum aspects of you are being shifted every moment for moment, you're shifting. So trust yourself. The 7th time you listen to it, trust that you're going to get exactly what you need in that moment, and you will. Trust yourself that when you go down this beautiful nature path, you'll get exactly what you will, and you will. Trust yourself that when you're opening to communication entanglement with Gaia, you're hearing, you're receiving, you're sending the dynamic quantum love that is truly going on, because you are. Otherwise, you wouldn't have had the propensity to co-create it. Does that make sense, dear lighted ones? And that's what the Christ Collective is allowing us to understand. That even in this coalescing right now, you must hold the intellect, the wisdom, the heavenly matter within you, those God particles within you, for this to be even a co-creation. You must hold yourself within it. For remember, you are within all light. You are within all things. Are you not? That beautiful, loving moment in which anything may unfold, you're held within it. You created that masterful, magical, miraculous moment. In many times that I used to question the divine light language, and it's always been my thing, is trusting myself in what I receive and trusting myself with the divine majesty that flows through me. And my teams are constantly saying, just trust yourself, go with it. Is it fun? Go with it. If there's a gift within you and you're inspired and excited to do so, then there's others out there that are willing to receive it and be of benefit of it. For remember, too, you're sitting within the omnipresence of web of consciousness of the all. So even in your dynamic ability to trust yourself and jump with utter faith, in your joy and in your happiness, your childlike wonder, the all will be served. And in so many of us, that's been the holdback, because we've questioned ourselves, well, will anybody benefit from this? Or is anybody being served? Or am I doing it right? You're always self-doubting and self-questioning. That's the ego. But in your Christed acceptance, in your self-honor and self-love, all is served. Trust. And so love, faith, wisdom, health, peace, harmony, all and any gifts are not outside of you, dear ones. Love thyself enough to acknowledge yourself within the entanglement, any entanglement. This is real. This is quantum. This is an entanglement. It's God communication. And it cannot be denied, for you are within it. And this is why I get so overjoyed and I get so verklempt in so many moments where I just surrender into my God. Because it's so profoundly moving to just surrender into that dynamic of love that is me. And in those moments in which I trust it and allow it, it's profound. And my higher self is saying, trust it more often because it's beautiful. And I'm saying, thank you. So we're having a conversation as we speak, and there's many conversations going on at once. But that's just trusting yourself in the dynamic quantum communication that's always going through you and moving through you and living through you based on your divine open heart and your ability and your desire and your excitement and your childlike wonder to dance within it, because you are it. You are within it. You're the dance. Trust yourself as the Christed God, eternal essence that you are, always have been, and always will be. Shine your light, for you are dearly loved. And as creation awaits for you to trust yourself and dance within it and surrender into yourself, you'll be shown immediately how beautiful you are. You just will. Whether it be manifesting a parking spot, whether it be manifesting a piece of information, whether it be manifesting a beautiful editor for your book, whether it be manifesting abundance and prosperity for your family, whether it be abundance in any way, whether it be through love and cherished relationships and sacred relationships, or whether it be the activation of new gifts and skills as you communicate and entangle with Gaia, or your inventiveness to assist with societal transformations and transcensions that we're moving through with our energy and with all that we are in our beautiful healing and transitionary states. Whatever it is that may create excitement within you, trust it. They're the golden threads of God, allowing you to see how grand and vast and beautiful you are. You are the dance. You are the music. You are the notes through which all song is carried upon. Are you understanding your profundity, dear lighted ones? How beautiful are you in this moment of now? And in all moments that we gather, in all moments that we offer our divine sacred sharings and our divine sacred soul communions, from the heart of all that I am, I offer in all ways that I can, in as many ways that I can express and create my beautiful day-for-day experiences, so that as all those that come forward in their own experiences and their own growth and their own soul transformations, in every moment, may you always remember and allow yourself to surrender into your God within and know the love and the depth and the richness through which you are threaded. I mean, it will just allow you to feel all that you've waited to feel. I mean, really, that's why we've come so many earth lifetimes, is for the moments in which that awakening is felt in all ways. And your life is forever changed. You view things, you perceive things, you allow things to be living through you, co-create, you manifest, you magnetize, you allow yourself to create auspicious opportunities beyond what can be explained. Beyond, even far beyond what we can explain. And you're allowing it to live through you and trusting yourself enough to be the love of God that you are. So surrender into it. It's you. You are this dance. You are all moments. So thank you, dear lighted ones. And moment for moment, we allow ourselves to offer ourselves in oneness to the one human heart that we beat and we pulse, and hand in hand, foot in foot, we walk together as one. So allow your hearts to be open in compassion. Allow your hearts to take peace and silence and presence within breath. For breath is the igniter, the amplifier, and the initiator of all things. So be still within your hearts, for it's you. That pulsing of God, that whisper of God, that song of God is you. And may you always dance in joy, for that dance is also you.
Thank you, dear lighted ones, for entangling with us in this beautiful and divine Sacred Soul Tribe co-creation. For more information on our divine offerings, self-healing sessions, events, books, and monthly Sacred Temple teachings, a universal unity offering, may we forever dance in the beautiful light of all that we are as Christed beings of divine